box from Goodwill that was $38.88 is what it was. So we went ahead and bought it. It was a decent size box. I already pulled some of them out here. We figured we'd sort through them. We thought it was all baseball. I thought it was all junk wax baseball. It was, let me see if I can show you guys. It was about this size box right here. This pretty big box. So we thought it was all junk wax baseball, but once we started pulling it out, I realized that it had some other sports in it as well. So I figured if I was going to go through it, be searching for some stuff, I might as well do it with you guys while I was on here. See if we pull out anything big. Like I said, we only paid out $38.88 for it. So we're going to see if anything is in there. Who knows? Might come across some magic. I doubt it. Most of the stuff is pretty well picked through either before it's donated or after it makes it to Goodwill. So, well, let's see. We'll start with some of this over here, see what we got. Tony Fernandez, George Bell. And as you can see, like a lot of this stuff is going to be dinged corners and things like that. But, hey, we'll check it out. There's some 91 Fleer. That's always exciting. Mike Stanton, Todd Stoudemire, Daryl Boston. We'll just kind of thumb through it real quick. I'm sure there's a bunch of it. As a lot of you guys know, I have a love-hate relationship with Dante Bichette. So that's always exciting. There's a Tony Gwynn. Not in too bad a shape. Little rounded corner down here. So at least there's a couple stars in here. We got Wade Boggs, Roger Clemens, Steve Bedrosian. So at least it's not completely picked through to where it's just commons. Let's see. Jacob Broomfeld, Marvin Freeman. He was on the Braves there for a little while. Hey there, Robert. How we doing? I just picked up this box from, or I got it in the mail today, or from FedEx today, from Goodwill. There's old Canseco on the Rangers. So I figured I'd just sort through it on here, just to see if I got anything exciting. There's another Wade Boggs. And I mean, so far, it's been junk wax baseball for sure, but it has not just been commons. There has actually been a few stars in here so far. Nothing that I've put on the board yet. We haven't got any board-worthy cards yet, but Greg Hubbard. There's a Mike Piazza, 94 Fleer checklist. So I'm not as disheartened as I possibly could be with it just being commons. There's Cal Eldridge, another Marvin Freeman. We just had one of those. Pete Harnish. So, I don't think, there's Don Mattingly, 95 Fleer. I don't think we're going to find anything exciting. Like I'm not running across some rare rookie card or some huge variation or something like that. I mean, a lot of this stuff, there aren't that many variations for. There's some 89 Fleer. See if I could run across some doing good just like. Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations. I bet that's exciting, but also tiring at the same time. I can imagine. Terrell Wade. There's a Ryan Sandberg. So like I said, we're not completely Billy Ripken. John Allrood. Oh, there's a little football. There's an Emmett. Now, Emmett will always make the board for me. We'll always have Emmett on the board. How we doing? Juan Guzman, Paul Molitor. I mean, so far, it could have been worse. This isn't a bunch of commons, at least. I mean, it's not all that exciting. I just have fun looking through it, and I figured some of you guys might. There's an Ozzie Smith, 95 Fleer. I don't know that I have a lot of Fleer from mid-90s. I got early 90s. I got 91 Fleer, like everybody else probably does. But there's another Don Mattingly. I mean, it's not terrible. Dwight Gooden. I can't really complain about it. Oh, there's a Topps Gold. How about that? Oh, and a Carnage. A Marvel Comics Carnage. That's pretty cool looking. I wasn't expecting comic cards to be in here, but I'll take it. And then there's a Topps Gold. Not of anybody exciting. It's Richard Batchelor and Brian Barber. But we'll take a Topps Gold, and we'll take a Carnage for sure. Now, I think on these, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, I'm not really an expert on these, but I think there's like a gold signature series or like a Topps foil gold, and it's got a little signature on here. This is not one of those, even though it's got the gold in the corner and the gold down here. But it is not one of the signature ones. So let's see. We got a Junior Seau. That's not too shabby. Yeah, Junior Seau. White Shoes Johnson. That's always awesome. I feel like he is. Huh. That is an interesting question. No, I'm not at the All-Star game, and I'm mad at myself for not doing it. I just. It's only a couple hours away, and I was planning on going. Oh, that's nice. Is that a Gold Rush? Score 95 Gold Rush. It is. No, I was gonna go. I went to a Braves game a couple weeks ago, and it rained the whole time. It was cold. It was wet. There's a CJ Nowitzki, so I did not make it to the All Star game. I was gonna make a couple videos for you guys and head up to the All Star game, and I got so busy with so much other stuff that I just completely whiffed on it, and everything was so expensive. Like I looked at the home run. There's a Steve Tasker. I don't think that gold signature is anything special. I think that's just the card. Everything was so expensive for ticket prices and stuff. So there's a Stone Casey. There's another Gold Rush. Yeah, Score Gold Rush. It says it right there. There's a Chris Miller Prime. Sorry, I'm trying to load up so I can see some of y'all's comments on my laptop so I don't miss anything. Let's see. Chris Miller. So there's some football in here. There's a regular Mike Greenwald. We just saw the. Hey Barry, just saw the Gold Rush of that card right there. There's another Mike Greenwald. A whole bunch of Mike Greenwald floating around here. We got Willie McGee. That's a Troy Drayton. Is that right? Yeah, Troy Drayton. Sean Jefferson. Oh, there's some 89 Bowman in here. Is that 89 or no? Yeah, it is. Sure. So there could be a Griffey in here. We may be holding out for a big Griffey. You never know. Let's see here. Wesley Person. We got basketball in here. We got basketball. We got Marvel. We got Roger Clemens. We got Willie McGee. There's another Gold Rush. That's actually a decent one. Tino Martinez. Gold Rush. Wesley Person. Yep, definitely War Eagle. There's another Mike Greenwald. Apparently this was a big Mike Greenwald fan. I was actually in Auburn a couple weeks ago. I stopped in and had dinner with one of my friends over there. Ooh, there's an Alvin Harper rookie, but it has, I don't know if you guys can see that. There's some creases right across there. But I was in Auburn about a month ago. Wasn't too bad. Trey Johnson, Warren Moon, stuck to somebody. Neil O'Donnell, with a lot of dents and dings. That's what happens a lot with the Goodwill stuff. Is you get a bunch of these dents and ding cards, but I mean it's fun to look at. I figured I'd do it with you guys. Sam Adams, that sounded weird when I just said that, but Mike Coffer. I mean I'll go through them a little faster here. We got a Broderick Thomas Member's Choice. There's another goal. Whoa, how about this one? That is Kevin Brown, the pitcher, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yeah. Pitcher Kevin Brown, and yeah, we went old timey with the drawn on stash and sideburns. I think that's pretty impressive. I'll take that any day of the week. That's awesome. I am now a big fan of that card. That is an interesting card for sure. All right, let's see. We'll go with this stack right here. Got a little Cracker Jack mini type thing. I think it's from like the 90s. Yeah, 90s. Little Cracker Jack mini. It's not too bad. What, the mustache and the sideburns? Oh yeah, solid, 100% real. I mean, yeah, everybody's gonna believe that. That's a cool card though. I mean, I might hang on. You know what? We'll put that on the board. We'll put that on the board just because I think that's interesting. Cecil Fielder, a little crease across the bottom. Damon Berryhill. Doug Strange, Phil Plantier. Oh, we got the shortstops. We got Cal Ripken and Tony Fernandez. Oh, this way I can see you guys. All right. Ryan Klesko. It's interesting. I mean, this isn't terrible. There's Paul Molitor. Like, they're normal. It's going to be normal cornerware and stuff like that you would get out of a Goodwill product. But it's not all that bad. 91 Fleer is never, oh, there's Gary Carter. Never really exciting. Mike Munoz. But, I mean, I paid $38.88 to have it shipped to me, processing, all that type of stuff. And there's probably about 2,500 cards in there, I would say. Maybe 3,000. I mean, we got Galarraga, Matt Williams, Bobby Bowe, Frank Viola. I mean, it's not terrible. There are a bunch of commons in here, but, it's not ridiculous. Barry Larkin. What else we got? And Don Mattingly. I mean, it's not completely picked through to where it's just a box of commons. There's a Jeff Treadway. Well, there's Nolan Ryan. Baseball Heroes. I mean, I guess it's not horrible. Eddie Murray. Devon White. Yeah. Oral Hershiser. So there's some good Ron Say. There's some good players in here. I don't think there's a Pedro. 93 Leaf. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it, but so far I wouldn't complain about it. There's another Gold Rush. Thomas Howard. I think it's a Gold Rush. Yep. Gold Rush. So I mean, it's not horrible stuff for being a Goodwill box. Not in the best shape, but you put some of these guys together. There's a Reggie Miller of the basketball, but he's, I don't know if you guys can, let me see if I can get a little glare on there for you. There. Right in there, you can kind of see their scratches and stuff like that. But, I mean, that's kind of what you expect. The cool thing, too, is that what I saw is a guy had these, like, old dividers for sets. Like, he had Don Russ. We had Score. Little dividers that were in there. But they were not divided up like that. They were just, that's just how they were. They just had those cards in there. Like, I get excited here because I see the 87 top. So maybe we got a Bonds or a McGuire or Bo Jackson. I mean, I doubt it, because what I'm kind of guessing is, like, a lot of this stuff is older 90s stuff, and I know I got rid of most of my. Oh, there's some more Marvel cards. That's kind of cool. Not against the Marvel card. Vulture, Dr. Octopus, Spider-Man, and Topps Gold. Rob Thomas. Not that Rob Thomas. But that's not too bad. Actually, we'll put a Topps Gold up here. We'll let him make the board. All right. John Elway. So I mean, there's good guys in here. Just not, I don't see anything rare or, the rookies are guys like Terrell Wade. Right there. And Jeff McNeely. There's another Gold Rush. I mean, if you get a Gold Rush to someone that's halfway decent, not that Terry Mulholland, the pride of Marietta College, is not halfway decent. There's a Herschel Walker, but he's definitely got I don't think you can see that. There's a crease right about there. Henry Ford, not that Henry Ford. That sale's not too bad. A little soft corner up here. But I mean, for being Goodwill stuff, this isn't terrible. So what's the score in the All-Star game? Last I saw it was 2-0. And I think that was in the third. And then came up here to get all this stuff together for you guys. Ricky Prohl. Richard Dent. I just figured it came in today, and I don't like sitting on stuff. There's a Michael Irvin. It's not too bad. I don't like sitting on stuff, so I figured I'd come up here and watch it. I watched the first couple innings of the All-Star game, and once I start 6-0, nice. Once I start pulling people, I'm kind of like, this guy's a third All-Star. There's a Frank Thomas, the franchise. I always love those cards. And the 91 score, I like those. And then, was it 90 score or 90? The impact players or whatever. I love those cards too. I used to keep those in the books and the dividers and the page sleeves. Isaiah Ryder. If I run across something that's like rare or parallel that I don't notice, you guys are more than welcome to shout it out. Yeah, I left after the third. They were interviewing Jack Wilson and his father when I came upstairs. So it's not too bad here so far. I mean, there's been a couple big stars, like that Reggie Jefferson's had seen better days there at the top. There's some more basketball. So when we get to the basketball, we're hoping to pull some Jordans or some Shaqs, although this is a little before Shaq's time. This is a season before him. Larry Smith. Now these are all somewhat turned around a little bit. There's an Isaiah Thomas. Rick Aguilera, Gold Rush. It's not too bad. Oh, okay. I actually was just working on a Corbin Carroll lot to put on eBay, so I hope he hits plenty more this season. Kenny Smith. Another Kenny Smith. Rick Smits. So some of these are turned right way and some of them are upside down. Some are back and forth. But I haven't seen any Jordans or any of the big rookies in that 87 stuff that we went through. There's a whole stack over here of the 87 tops. So I'm hoping that we can pull some of the big rookies out of that would be nice. Oh, there's a Hakeem Olajuwon, but he's got a rough corner up there. So, I mean, there's good guys in here, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was a Jordan. There's a Chris Smith. I saw that gold. I thought it was a Topps gold, but it's just the 92 draft picks. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to pull a Shaq rookie, but I doubt that's in there. But what I was saying earlier is, you know what? Oh, hockey. Okay, I don't know a lot about hockey, so you guys are going to have to help me out on that. I'll just thumb through the hockey. Oh, there's a Steve Avery Gold Rush. That's pretty sweet. Right there. I'll take that. I'll put that on the board for sure. I'll probably hang on to that myself. Dave Archibald. Scott something. Jeff Brown. There's a prospect of somebody. Adam Foote. I'll put that. What's that? Well, I'll set that over here. I got a buddy of mine that's big on hockey, and I'll run some of those by him because I don't know hockey players at all, unless they're huge names like Gretzky or Lemieux or something like that. All right, Robert, I'll talk to you later. Yeah, I bet you had a rough night. Not a rough night, but long night. There's a nice Ryan Sandberg. We'll put that up there. There's a Ken Griffey, but it's senior. Ken Griffey Sr. Yep. Albert Bell, Gary Sheffield. So there's another Marvin Freeman. This guy was a big Marvin Freeman fan. And Mike Greenwell. We've had a lot of those. Don Chaney, Gerald Wilkins. There's technically a Ken Griffey Jr. card, I guess. You could call it that. It's Chris Bosio throwing a season's first no-hitter with Griffey in the very edge of it. I guess we could call that a Griffey card. We'll put that up there. Why not? There's more hockey people. Todd Marchant. Scott Pearson. There's Brent Gretzky. Not quite the Gretzky we're looking for, but we'll take it. Whoa. Not even going to try that one. Yeah, hockey is not my area of expertise. But, I mean, it's fun to go through this stuff. I mean, I've probably got most of these cards and boxes over in my office over there. San Francisco Giants card. San Diego Padres. I'm trying to keep the glare off it for you guys. Keep it back a little bit. Move the Ron Washington there. Greg Swindell. Bernard Gilkey. Matt Brunson, draft pick. Tim Raines. Jerry Brown. Mark McLemore. I'm just going to, if I see anybody good, we'll stop. I'm just going to try to, let's get some smaller piles because they're kind of stuck together here when you get into the score stuff. Eddie Zambrano stuck to Phil Plantier. Andy Van Slyke with a lot of creases across him, if you can see that. Brent Rucker, nice. I like some Brent Rucker. I mean, I'm not an athletics fan or let's see. Jack McDowell, 88 Donruss. I have a couple of rookie cards that I'd like to eventually get rid of. I've got a new philosophy in life. There's Carlton Fisk. That I am just going to start downloading cards that don't make me excited. There's a Roger Clemens. And try to trade up and purchase some of my wish list cards. Like some of the cards that I've always wanted to get, like a '89 Upper Deck reverse negative Dale Murphy. I really want to get one of those. I pulled the Jordan. Let's see, Crick Grayback. I pulled the Jordan SP out of the 91 Upper Deck already. So that was kind of one of the cards that was on my list. And I pulled the Dion, the triple or the double Dion, where he's in the shoulder pads. Or he's in his football jersey to start with, and then he goes into his baseball jersey, or vice versa. I pulled that. So I got those 2 cards, but there's a few cards on there that I would love to be a part of. Like that reverse negative. I forget what is all on my list. Like I sat down and went through a whole list of stuff. And a lot of it's kind of those cards everybody wants, like, the 52 man stuff, like the dream cards. But there's some in there that are personal, like, the 89 Fleer Ripken and, just stuff like that I would love to have in a good condition. Solomon Torres. There's a Dave Justice of Moneyball fame. Ross Powell. Eddie Murray. There's a Braves checklist. So, very nothing too exciting in here. There's been a couple parallels, which I kind of find interesting. I didn't think there would be any parallels like the Gold Rush, but maybe whoever sorted through these didn't know those were parallels. They just thought they were basic cards. And not that they increased the value any or anything, really, unless it's a big player and in far better condition. Sandy Alomar Jr., Rob Deere. But for, $40, I feel like I got a good deal. I have several stacks here to go through, which I'm probably going to go through for about an hour or 2 on here, maybe even not even 2, maybe just an hour, and then see what all I got. I brought my sleeves and my top loaders over, hoping I would. Oh, that's not too bad. That's a Carlos Delgado rookie prospect as a catcher. Was he solely a catcher? Yeah, solely a catcher. I think shortly after that, he moved to the outfield or to first. There's another Mike Greenwald. This guy was a big Mike Greenwald fan. Oh, there you go. There's some sports flicks. I haven't seen a lot of these cards in a while. That's not too bad. There's another Canseco in a Rangers jersey. Steve Carsey rookie. Steve Carsey is not terrible. Mike Piazza. I think that's a second-year card. And a Pete Rose manager card. That's not in too bad a shape. We'll put Piazza and Pete Rose up there. Why not? With Sharp. Yeah, see, that's got the gold signatures on all of them, so I don't think that's anything spectacular. Tyrone Hill. I feel like someone probably went through this at some point, whether it be the original owner or whether it be someone at Goodwill, and pulled out like the Griffeys and the Jordans and the names that everybody knows, probably and the hockey stuff like the Gretzky and all that kind of stuff. There's Kevin Johnson. But there's Dan Marino. It's our first Dan Marino. Little ding corner up there, but we'll put Dan Marino up there. Why not? And a Mike Piazza. The future is now. Followed by a Karl Malone. We're going on a little star run here, so maybe somebody. Wow, no, that just ended that. There's Cecil Fielder with some creases in him. Mike Kelly rookie. There's a Bonds. In rough shape up here, but still a Bonds card. Well, that gives me hope. If there's a Bonds card there, then there might be a Bonds card in this 87 tops over here. Whew. Luis Gonzalez, Eric Plunk, Mike Dunn, Denny Nagel, Dave Magadan, Tom Foley. For being a Goodwill box, it's not as bad as this could be. Like there's Steve Avery. There's another Bonds card. That one's kind of cool looking. What's that, Studio? Yeah. There's a Studio Bonds. Not in the greatest shape, but it's not terrible. Put that up there. Lance McCullers, Pudge Rodriguez. We're getting stars. There's Jeff Bagwell, I think. Yep. Herbert Perry, Pudge. So I think this could be a lot worse. This box could be a lot worse. For $40. Rondell White. Oh, there's a Dale Murphy. Dale Murphy is always going to make the board here. Always going to make the board here. But what I was saying earlier is I went to a Braves game Yeah, I do too. I mean, it's just, for 40 bucks, it's worth the fun of going back and seeing all these cards that I chased as a kid. Like Bernard Gilkey, that would have been a huge rookie card right there in 91, and it's Dave Stewart. I just have fun doing it. And I got the box today and I wanted to get it open, and I was going to try to make a long form video out of it, but I figured I'd just do it on live and maybe I'll cut it down to a long form video. But I mean, I like those Gold Rush cards. I don't know about Ken Hill, Mark Rippon. And it's the kind of the hope and the dream that, oh man, I'm going to run across this big rookie. I'm going to run across this big Michael Jordan card or this rare, variation. There's an Otis Thorpe rookie, but it looks like somebody ran that over with their vehicle. So it's just that hope that you're gonna, oh, I'm gonna find something. There's gonna be something that's huge in there. We'll go through some of this 87 here and see if what is that? I have no idea what that is. 94 US games. I don't know what that is. I have to Google that and try to figure out what it is. Okay. Well, we'll set that aside. I'm gonna look those up because I don't know what those are. But I mean, we've come across Marvel cards in here, hockey cards, basketball. In this 87, we're hoping for a Mark McGuire, Barry Bonds, Bo Jackson. Doesn't look like I'm going to run across any of that stuff. Sid Bream. I always love these hats that the Pirates wore back then. I mean, that's some classy stuff right there. It does. And I mean, so I bought a box, and I've told this story before. I bought a box from Seattle, a Seattle Goodwill, and they sent it to me. This was probably 8 or 10 years ago. It was a long time ago. And I was sorting through the box, and I ended up running across 3 Fleer Ultra Tom Brady rookie cards and you go Pirates Oakland, and you think, oh, Bonds McGuire. I ended up running across 3 Fleer Ultra Tom Brady rookie cards, one which I just sold recently, and a playoff prestige Tom Brady rookie card. So like that, I mean, that box I only paid like $150 for, and it ended up one of those cards or 2 of those cards basically paid for the whole entire box, plus all the other stuff that I got in there. So that was worth it. You do only need that one card. But I mean, this stuff, this is junk wax. At least that other box, I kind of knew there was some modern football in. And I just bought a box, not modern, but, more recent football. I just bought a box too that came in the other day that I did film a long form video for, and I will get on long form with it. I'll get it out eventually. That it ended up having some modern football with a couple parallels and things like that. But it wasn't anything. It was kind of similar to this. I paid like $30 for it or something. So it's funny when you start seeing the good cards in the listings. Like I saw a listing the other day that had a Junior Caminero Bowman first autograph in the picture, and that lot ended up going for like $400 or something crazy like that. And I'm like, I just want to get this stuff to open it up just for the fun of it, But like I said, this stuff I'm just going to start. I go through, I sort through it, I have fun, and then I'm going to get rid of the stuff that doesn't bring me joy, as they would say. And so, and when I find a couple cards, like there was an Emmitt Smith card in there I didn't have that we've already run across, I'm going to hang on to that. And I really like the, the Topps Gold of Steve Avery, or Topps Gold, the Gold Rush of Steve Avery. I really like that card. I don't have that one either. So, I mean, clearly I'm a Braves fan, but yeah, these 87 Topps, I don't think we're going to run across it. I haven't even seen a star yet, really, other than I think Sid Bream is the biggest person we've come across there. Jesse Orozco. I'm not even going to bother flipping these over. There's Bill Buckner. Good old Bill Buckner. I don't think any of these are Topps Tiffany. They don't feel glossy or anything, so I'm not even flipping them over and looking at them. But yeah, they're a little rough for sure. The sorta, that's not bad. Rick Sutcliffe, I guess that's not terrible. But no, so far I haven't seen any of the big rookies, just like I haven't come across any Jordan or Shaq, even though we're dancing around those years of their cards. I did get a one Dan Marino card. There's a Vince Coleman Gold Rush. It's got the little gold foil on it, and then on the back they say Gold Rush. So it's just a parallel of the 95 and 94 score. Craig Elo, Kyle Brady. Yeah. I like the sports flicks. They're always kind of cool. You know, you get the two. I mean, these are just this the stuff I would open on as a kid, you know. So even if I don't find anything, and I'm not complaining. This, I mean, this is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like a box of commons, which is, you know, I've got tons of those floating around that I've already sorted all the good stuff out of, and you know, but I've run across some stars. I've run across like there's Roberto Alomar just hanging out. Is it worth anything? No. But if I got 50 Roberto Alomar cards, yeah, somebody might buy it. You know, and it's not about the money. It's about just having fun and looking through stuff that I would have searched 100 packs as a kid trying to. I'd have been happy to get a Mike Thurman draft pick back when I was a kid. Deer. That Joe Carter's pretty nice. A little rough corner up there, but it's not a bad card. He can make the board. Even though as a Braves fan, I shouldn't be hanging on to Joe Carter cards for sure. Pete Harnish. I mean, I'll go back and pull out all the Gold Rush cards. But, like, I mean, I would have been happy to get a Travis Miller card as a kid. You know, hoping that big, just like I do now. Man, that guy's going to be huge. He's going to be the next big rookie. Did it pan out? No, not most of the time. There's an Oral Hershiser. But I just think it's fun. And, I mean, if I make my money back, then I'm more than happy. And if I make my money back and I get to keep some cards, that's really what it's about. But, I mean, there's another Joe Carter. I mean, the joy of it is just going through here and seeing cards that either I chased as a kid, had as a kid, wanted as a kid, you know, and sometimes I come across these cards and I'm like, man, I never even knew that was in a card, you know, like there's a sweet Dion, you know, and you just think, man, I don't think I have that in my collection, you know, when you run across certain cards. So this kind of stuff, I probably have all or most of these cards somewhere in my house, but you know, I want to find that one card that I don't have. I want to find that hidden big card. You know, Dusty Baker, Bob Kearney. Do I think it's going to happen? No. Has it happened before? Yeah. Yeah, there's been a couple nice Aussies actually. And some of them I passed up because they're like this Fred McGriff where I just kind of pass them up with a corner like that. But yeah, there's been, I think that's about the third or fourth Aussie. There's been a couple Nolan Ryans that I've pulled out. Let's see. Yeah, if you see anything, if I run across anything that somebody wants a better look at or something like that, I mean, I was going to be sorting through. There's Edgar Martinez. It's not too bad. He's got a crease right there. I mean, like these cards, you're not going to grade. You're not going to. It's just for the fun of it. It's just to have a good time. You know, if you find something cool, great. But I think just searching through it is cool. There's Darren Dalton. Little rough corners on him, but let's see. I mean, what's it going to hurt? Like, see, there's Nolan Ryan. I mean, if you get a bunch of Nolan Ryans, you could just put a Nolan Ryan. I've seen a bunch of Cal Ripken Jr. so far. The old 92 Fleer here, Cal Ripken Jr., which that's a product that I have a ton of. 92 Fleer, 91 Fleer, Andy Bennis. But like this kind of like the mid 90s stuff, I don't have a lot of Fleer from the mid 90s. So like I probably don't have many of these cards. You know, I have some because I used to open anything I get my hands on back in the day. There's a Paul Molitor, a little rough bottom down there, but it's not a bad card. I mean, I've ran across some Bonds, a whole bunch of Canseco and Texas gear. So, yeah, the fun is the best part of it. I mean, if you don't enjoy like digging through cards and you don't enjoy and you're just doing it for the money, then you don't, you know, it's not a fun time and it's not rewarding for you. It's rewarding financially, but I mean, I when I go through here, I'm like, man, I remember that card, that rookie card right there. I chased that thing. I traded two Pete Rose 1980 Pete Rose cards to try to get that rookie of, like Paul Newman in 1990 or, something, or Paul Newfield or whatever his name was. There's Burt Blylavin. That's the second one of those I think we come to. Man, it's like I flip it and then it's just, it's like as soon as I flip it, it's, oh, that's it. That's what there you go. That's always a sweet name. John Henry Johnson. That hair too, man. That's some solid hair. 3G, I don't know if you saw this earlier, but we got I don't know if you were on here earlier. I pulled a Kevin Brown. Let me see where it's at. Here it is. With like a drawn on sideburns and mustache. I thought that was just the coolest card. Like that's like Kevin Brown, the pitcher. And I just thought it was a pretty cool card. So we set that up there. But I mean, cards like that with interesting stories behind it, like I mean that guy's hair is solid. And I've done on some of my videos before like the tales of baseball players past. And so when I run across players like that, I always enjoy finding their cards as well. Billy Joe Robideau, I mean that's one of the best names there is. Bob Horner, Paul Austenmacher, Billy Sampman, which is one on Braves run right there. Lou Piniella. I mean, we haven't seen any of the big guys in here. The Bonds, the McGuires, even a Ripken or anything like that. As far as 87 goes, I think Burt Blylavin's probably the best one we've seen so far. But, I mean, it's just fun to look at this stuff. And I remember, going through a ton of packs of 1987 Topps when it was fresh out and I was trying to get a Bo Jackson card. That's the card everybody wanted was Bo Jackson. Even the McGuire and the Bonds weren't as big as Bo Jackson. And I have a couple, I have a few of the 87 Topps. There's Billy Joe Robideau again. But, okay. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to find any of those big guys in here. I think either there's a Lee Smith. It's not a bad card. There's a Dave Smith. Smith. Like, I don't think we're running across an 89 Bowman Griffey card. Or even the father and son one, Alan Anderson, Jeff Parrott. But, it's fun to hope and to be like, man, maybe we will. And it's just like being a kid again. Like you've got that hope that you're going to open that pack and you're going to find that next big card. I don't think it's Sparky Anderson manager card, but Jeff Russell, David Cohn. There's Kevin Brown. Ooh, that got a little miscut. That's what we would call right heavy, slightly right heavy. Oh, man, that's weird. It is not all that bad on the back, but yeah, I keep most Braves cards that I run across if I don't already have it. And then if I do, if I find one that's a better condition, I'll trade it out. But I keep most Braves cards. I keep just about any Chipper Jones cards that I have. I do have, back when I was a kid, speaking of Cubs cards, I went to an autograph signing by the Cubs team, and I got a couple Jerome Walton autographs. I got a couple Ryan Sandberg autographs. So I have those as far as the Cubs collection goes. There's Dante Bichette. I don't know if everyone knows that I love-hate relationship with Dante Bichette. I played him a couple times in some rec league softball after he retired from baseball. And the first 3 times I faced him, he knocked it out into the roadway on me. And so I walked him the next 3 times. And I will never pitch to Dante Bichette again in my lifetime. So, I mean, he didn't even give me a chance. He just gone. Home run. So I have a love-hate relationship with the old Dante Bichette. There's Paul Molitor. That's probably the best one that we've pulled out of the 87 Topps is a Molitor. So he's going to make the board. There's Paul Austenmacher. It's not too bad. I'm probably going to go till about 11 o'clock or so. We shall see. This is only about, there's 5 different rows, and this is only about 1.5 rows of stuff. Scott Lewis, Matt Drews, Rafael Palmeiro. I mean, like I said, we haven't come across anything huge. Still haven't got any Jordans or Griffey or We did get a Dan Marino, but yeah, I mean, the whole collecting thing is just collect what makes you happy. That's how I feel about it. Like, there's so many people that just collect to make money nowadays that it's just what's that's great and all. I mean, making money's good, and like the stuff that I don't want to keep, and that's what I was saying earlier. I'm at a point now where I just want to start getting rid of the stuff that doesn't really I don't have any attachment to or doesn't bring me any joy. I was mad because I had pulled out of 2010. I opened a 2010 HTA box, like a jumbo box, and I had gotten there's a Cal Ripken Jr. right there, and I had gotten and it's not so it's if I can show you, I don't know. Let me see. It's it's 5 rows, like about that size. So it's not like a 5,000 count box size quite, but I mean it's not terrible. But anyway, so I pulled out of 2010. I pulled a Topps Gold Buster Posey, which I'm not a Buster Posey fan, but I loved pulling that card out of there. But I ended up selling it because the price I just sold it recently, and I'm kind of so mad at myself. I was like, I should have just kept it. But I was getting ready to go to a Braves game, and me and a bunch of my friends were going up there, and I wanted to make sure I had money to go to the game and get up there and have a good time. And so, that card brought me joy for the weekend, even though I got rained on and the game was a 2.5 hour rain delay. But there's old Dante Bichette again. But I still wish I had kept that card, but it's okay. It was probably, if I'd have got it graded, it would have been an 8. My goal now is to chase one that I would like. That's a pretty George Brett card. I mean, just the whole layout of it with a stadium behind him. I mean, you can't go wrong there. Like that's just a pretty card. Oh, there's some older stuff. Rupert Jones. And so, that card brought me joy, and I got to go to the game, and I used that money to do something I wanted to do. There's Mike Schmidt of the 87 Topps. We'll put him up there. Why not? Mariano Duncan. Yeah, see, hockey. I don't know hockey, so I'm going to skip this. My buddy Chris is a big hockey person. I'll just have him take a look at that stuff. Good old Scott Skiles, the single game assist leader. I think he still is for assist in a game. I used to go see him when I was a kid every once in a while. Go and check out a Magic game. These are all classic minor league cards. There's a Frank Thomas who's seen better days, but still, I mean, that's just fun. Do I think I'm going to run across a Frank Thomas no name in here? No.